All right, episode 28.
Yes.
We're going to unlock the secrets of saving and help you buy your dream home faster.
The voices in this episode are next level, by the way.
They are. This is an hour-long episode, but really the lessons in here will last you a lifetime.
You know what I like about this one?
What do you like?
It's tangible stuff.
Yep.
It's not pie in the sky stuff. It's like actually things you can implement tomorrow.
And things we've done
Yep.
to help us get it there quicker. And some things you're implementing.
Things I'm going to be doing.
You're going to be doing, yeah. We have a lot of fun with this one. We kind of share our tips to help you save to your dream home because, yeah, everyone should buy a property, but getting there is really the big question mark in a lot of people's lives. What Joey alluded to earlier, we have a special guest on this show, Dave Ramsey, who's actually not on the show, but we try our best to imitate him.
Yeah.
He's a super saver.
Just keeps morphing as it goes.
It does. We talk about some food places, some news you can use, and then we get into the good stuff.
There we go.
All right.
Enjoy.
Ciao.
Welcome to the Toronto Livings Podcast, a conversation about all things Toronto with a focus on real estate, the culture, and of course, the food.
I'm Mark Savell.
And I'm Joey Virgilio.
And we're realtors with Sage Real Estate working together as a Toronto Livings team with a focus on helping you buy better, sell higher, and of course, having a little bit of fun along the way. Hello, Joey.
Hello, Mark.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm feeling very financially savvy today.
Oh, it's the perfect day for it.
Is it now? How's your week been?
The week has been good. Been a lot of moving this week.
Really?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah. Body is sore right now.
Body is sore. Oh, like workout moving?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. No, like actually moving.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been helping. It's funny. Every time I help people move, it always seems to be like a bunch at once.
It's never like a box.
No,
it's like houses.
It's multiple people and multiple houses. Yeah.
Nice. Where were you moving?
So one of the I was helping a friend of mine. We're going to be leasing out his units. Well, it's actually on the market already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's in Vaughan.
Nice.
Little basement spot.
Okay.
So I was helping him get his stuff out, and we're going to be retaking some pictures soon. So
that's what I call full service.
That's right.
It's not just the marketing; it's also the muscle.
That's right.
Joey V. Cool. Did you eat anywhere exciting?
I did. I actually went to Beer Town.
Shout out Beer Town.
Shout out Beer Town. Shout out the nachos.
Did you have the Barrel of Technology IPA?
Actually, I had a really good one.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a good craft beer.
What was it called?
Okay, I'm a fan of stouts.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
When I do beer, I do stouts. To be honest with you, I don't know what the difference of stout and other things are, like lagers and pale ales.
Yeah.
Right over my head. But I know I like stouts.
You like stouts. Okay.
Guinness is that type of beer.
I used to be into Guinness, but I'm like a one glass type of guy with Guinness because
it's like drinking like a glass of chocolate milk.
Yeah.
It's not light beer by any means.
It's not, no.
But it's less carbonated. And that's I think why I like it.
Ah, interesting.
But yeah, I did. It was called Sawdust City was the company name. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. See what I mean? Like Barrel of Technology ain't far off.
It's not. You know, with the right type of imagery on the front, that could be a top selling beer. Well, it's time to branch out from podcasting. And, you know, all these Kardashians have tequilas and George Clooney has a tequila. We need an IPA beer.
Yeah. Yeah, Barrel of
Technology.
Yeah.
Start hawking it on the streets.
Yeah. How about you? How was your week?
Week's been good. Week's been, the usual busy here and there. But I went to this I'm not going to say really, the best taco place in the city.
Oh, the best.
Yeah, I'm saying it.
Okay.
This place can go toe to toe with anyone.
Okay, all right.
So it's on Dufferin,
Yeah.
2404 Dufferin Street. And I've driven past this place for like 3-4 years. And, there's a couple of people in there, kind of look like a dive, not really that busy. And in the last like couple of months, packed every night to the rim. Every time I'm driving up Dufferin, I'm like, what is this place? Mm-hmm. So we were trying to go to this new lasagna spot on Oakwood that opened up, but it was like a 4-hour wait and I'm not waiting that long for lasagna. So the wife's like, let's try that spot that we keep seeing. So we went up there. Dude, I was transported to Mexico walking in there.
Really?
It was incredible.
Okay.
Like they play Mexican music, but not like salsa merengue, like pure mariachi styles.
Okay.
Whatever the equivalent of that would be. I walked in, I'm like, I looked at my wife, Age, I'm like, I'm in heaven.
Yeah.
Like this is the spot. And so they're like, okay, you sit on that side. So they've actually taken over a second commercial space and they have a third one with a Mexican grocery store coming.
Oh man, one lineup.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
very
I don't
cool.
know if they're associated, but on the other side of them is a Mexican barber. I don't know what the difference is. It's like Korean macaroons. I don't know why the country has an impact on it, but they are very openly Mexican. Like there's the flags on it and all that other stuff. So I might go for a Mexican haircut one day.
I love that.
I don't know what that means, but hey, when in Mexico, get a haircut. The place is called, and I'm going to butcher this. I actually had to break it down in syllables.
Okay.
Alabrejes.
Oh, the accent was on too.
Alabrejes. I told my wife, I'm like, and I don't even know if this is derogatory, and apologize if it is, but I'm like, we definitely got the gringo seat. They're like, oh, like white people, you go on that side. Not that it mattered because the food was out of this world.
I love Mexican food.
Oh, dude, we gotta try this place.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I need to go there. Mexican food is its top. My ideal food is, and this I know this isn't actually authentic Mexican food, so I'm gonna.
Oh God! Don't say burrito boys. Don't say
no,
burrito
not
boys.
burrito boys, not burrito boys. If I had, I can literally make my dinner as quesadillas mixed with veal sandwiches afterwards, and I've actually done that before.
What if a veal quesadilla?
Oh my God!
With a Joey Barrel of Technology beer. Retired.
We're opening up a restaurant.
Let's do it. Oh gosh. Okay. I'm down. Place is insane. Now here's the thing we got to try. So they had these drinks and they were ordering by literally the dozen.
Okay.
So it was like a beer mug with, it looked like Mott's Clamato tomato juice at the bottom. The rim was salted and they would take a Modelo beer, tip it upside down and put it in there.
Weird.
So I asked the server what it was, and she didn't know what I was asking. She's like, "Oh, black sauce. It's black sauce." It's like I wasn't adventurous enough to try it on that visit, but I am 1000% trying the black sauce beer.
Oh my! So wait, Clamato juice and mixed with a
Modelo, yeah, and there's some spice in it. Like it's a known thing. Because I was asking one of my friends from Mexico what it's called, and she's like, "Oh." Her heart opened up. She's like, "You have to try it."
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
It sounds like heartburn in a glass for me.
So me too. But what she said is that's the drink you have the day after a hangover and you're happy again.
Okay.
And I mean, I'm sold. Sure. This is some miracle drink. Let's do it. So we got to try the black sauce. But Alabrejes, if I'm saying it correctly, taqueria.
Taqueria.
It is so good. And this isn't a
that's the full name. Sorry.
Yeah, taqueria. Yeah. Can't forget the taqueria. What type of taco place would it be without a taqueria at the end? It's not like your typical, what I'm trying to say is don't go there and try to be wowed by the service. They're doing their best. They're not there to necessarily serve you.
Yeah.
You're just there to have a good time.
Okay.
It's not like one of these places where ma'am,
yeah.
there's a little too many onions in my salsa. It's ¿Cómo? Nah, just enjoy it. Yeah. And we did. I was so happy eating it.
Yeah.
I was I feel like I'm in Mexico. I love Mexico.
Atmosphere, man.
Yeah.
Atmosphere is everything.
Yeah, so good. So that's my 2 cents on that.
Love it.
What I want to do is change it up a little bit. We're going to start talking about news you can use.
I like it.
And we're going to kind of talk about some of the stuff that flew under the radar. Some of the stuff is a little bit more topical right before we get into the big subject. Yep. And this week's subject, we're going to be talking about ways to save up for money. And there's a cute little story that goes with that, but I'll save it for later. Yep. So let's quickly get into it.
News you can use. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Please do that.
News you can use.
You need the Pavlov dog effect, because we're very much
I like that. Yeah.
All right, news you could use. My name is Mark Savell, and this week inflation came down. Maybe a rate hike isn't in the cards for October. Ooh. It is what it is. Inflation came down from 4% to 3.8%. You ask 10 brokers, you get 10 different responses. Yeah. They split 50-50. We're going to have to wait till the 25th and see what actually happens with this month's rate hike announcement.
That's right.
Have you changed your thoughts on that?
It's hard because every time a new news headline hits, I'm like, oh, maybe not. I'm just going to stick to my guns because, I don't know. I'm just going to stick to it. It's really, really easy to get. These are the day-to-day. There's going to be another report that comes out tomorrow, and it's going to be like, oh, these aren't strong enough, so we're going to need to flip this.
Yeah. So wait and see. I don't think they're going to raise it this month.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair assumption. I'm going to stick to my guns and say they're going to raise it.
Okay. Yeah, I was with you before, right?
You were. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm switching teams.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Just going with the win here. No one knows anything, anyways, right? So let's see what happens with that. A friendly reminder: the goal is to get inflation at 2%. Many whatever that word is, economists.
There you
go. They believe we should be having a target rate of about 3 to 3.5. Bank of Canada's target rate's 2%.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So here's a tidbit for you about target rates with inflation.
Okay.
Yeah. I learned this recently.
Yeah.
So do you know how the target rate actually began to be a thing originally?
4 guys sit at a bar with a dartboard and they throw numbers and figure out. No, I don't know. That's what it seems like.
So a long time ago, it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was Australia.
Okay.
Australia's inflation actually became, it started getting out of control.
Okay.
And what they had done was, instead of having inflation as a target, which was 2%, they said they can't let inflation surpass 2%. So 2% wasn't actually started as a target. It was actually started as a cap, so that if it surpassed 2%, they would need to figure out how to bring it down. So it's interesting that they might be thinking about trying to raise the floor from 3%, from 2 to
3, 3.5.
Yeah, but it is something that was started as like we need to rein it in as opposed to something like if we're too low, we need to bring it back up.
Okay, that's news we can use.
That's news we can use.
Thank you, Joey.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, so I actually
Little fun fact there.
Yeah. Do you want to drop yours about?
Oh yeah, we're doing quick fun facts.
No, you're not the next.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I wrote one out. Yeah.
Was that what you're referring to?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's more of a fun fact than anything else.
No, it's a fact.
Yeah, it's a little news.
Speak your truth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, photographers of Toronto, Instagram-worthy people of Toronto. There is a sunset that happens twice a year in the city.
Really?
There is, yeah. And it's a very special sunset.
Ooh.
Because it aligns with east to west streets of Toronto.
Ooh.
Yeah, believe it or not. So when you're at 6:15 on Wednesday,
Okay.
the sun is going to be setting just between each building, and it's going to land between the streets that are facing east to west in Toronto.
I've seen this.
You have?
Well, I'm a person on Instagram. I mean, who lives in the real world these days? Come on. I know what you're talking about. Like I've seen those really cool shots where they kind of everyone stands in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
Probably not the best idea.
Do like a Beatles walk across while the sun is setting?
No, they don't do that. I mean, you can. They more stand there to take their photos, not of themselves. But maybe you're onto something. You're sharp today, man. You're sharp.
This got a name for it. Did you know that?
I did not. What's it called?
It's called Toronto Henge.
Why can't that be a beer?
Toronto Henge. That's a great
Toronto
beer.
Henge. Could be a rock band. Could be a beer. Could be an event that happens twice a year.
Yeah. That's a rhyme scheme on point. I like that.
That also marks the start of the Raptor season.
Does it?
Yeah, home opener.
Is that a typical thing?
No. Okay. I mean, so towards the end of October, but
Yeah.
just because you said that date, it reminded me. I was watching Jack and Leo last night on the pregame, and
It's meant to be.
no, it's scheduled. It's not really meant to be, but it's happening. And on that note, I want to plug good friend of the show, Alex Wong, Stephen LeBron.
That's right.
He's got a book. That's how you know someone's smart, when they write books.
That's right.
You could talk all day on the podcast, but until you write a book, you're not smart in my book. In my books.
In my books.
Yeah. Someone asked me, do you think you're smart? I'm like, no, I haven't written a book. And that's how you know you got knowledge, because you got something to say and you put it in writing. So Alex Wong put together this wicked book, which I have not read, as you can tell. I might just put it on for display to look smart. But I will be reading this book because my friend wrote it. You got to support your friends. And it is the history of the Toronto Raptors from prehistoric times, as the title suggests, to the championship season and to where they're at now. And a lot of people say it's really good.
Love it.
I haven't read it, so I don't know. But he interviews Samuel L. Jackson. Like, there's some pretty heavy hitters that decided he's worthy of talking to.
He interviewed Samuel?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. He told me the story about it where like, he's like, okay, they called him up. They're like, how much time do you need with Samuel? He's like, I think 10, 15 minutes should cover it. They're like, yeah, you got 3 minutes. And they literally sent a calendar invite with 3 minutes. Granted, Samuel, being the amazing guy that he is, gave him more than 3 minutes, but fun fact of Alex's life. Other big news that happened this week, the one condominium at Bloor and Yonge.
Yeah.
They were 85 stories. They got permission for another 10 to go to 95 stories. It'd be the tallest building in North America.
Ambitious.
Yeah, well, maybe not so much, because they are now under receivership. And the numbers, I don't know. Again, I read 3 different articles and got 3 different storylines. The one I heard that kind of makes sense to me is the budget for this building was $600 million.
Right.
They are $2 billion over that budget. And the creditors sued to get back the 1.25 and change billion that they have owing.
That's insanity.
Now, the headlines did run off receivership. It sounds like bad news, and it's not great news for sure. But when you really start digging into it, they want him to complete the project. They just want a little bit of a tighter process to be happening. So his construction company is still, Mizrahi Construction Company is still responsible for constructing it, but under much tighter guidelines, I guess.
Right.
Someone's really going to be reining in to make sure this happens correctly and on time. And fun fact with this one, the Apple store was supposed to be at the base of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're gonna have a flagship Apple store at the base of Yonge and Bloor, they pulled out, and apparently they're suing him too, or I should say allegedly.
Right.
Yeah, lawyers like when we use the word allegedly.
Okay.
I'm not saying it. It's allegedly been said. So, yeah, cool.
Very interesting.
We can leave it there for news you can use and maybe get into transition time.
Sounds good.
I got the coffee brewing.
Oh, is it going?
Yeah, it's going.
Okay,
It's
perfect.
gonna take some time. We're using the old school Bialetti, and this is your reminder to tune in on Spotify and YouTube where you can see the magic happening.
That's right. You can see that steam come up when it's time.
I hope.
And then us drinking it.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Sign up for our Patreon. We'll drink coffees for you for the low fee of $2.95 a week. And all this money talk ties into this week's show because I was having... Oh, wait. Do you want to do a transition time sound effect?
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to do something different.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
What about to?
Ba-boo!
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 Transition time. Transition time. Transition time. Because I feel like you charged me up with that. Thank you for the 50 guests who listen to us and our sound effects. Transition time. This week, I had a really good lunch with my sister, and I kind of alluded to this on the last episode.
Yeah.
Also, Francis V still doesn't follow me. You want to look into that?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a talk.
Just a little nudge.
I'm gonna have a talk.
Your co-host is a little heartbroken. Please. So my sister, Janelle S., as we all know, she's now an avid listener. She listens to the podcast on the way to work. So she's hooked, which is good. We have 51 listeners.
Okay.
Which is awesome.
All right.
We were having a talk, and, I told you about the whole renter thing. And, again, I think there's nothing wrong with renting. I more care that you just do right with your money. So if you are renting it, you're putting it into some type of investment that can grow. And all this is so someday you could retire and not work like a dog for your entire life, which we kind of do in North America. Yeah. And she was saying, yeah, you keep talking about like we need to buy a property, et cetera, but like, how do you go from working to buying one? Mm-hmm. And I thought that was a really almost like an aha moment for me where it's like, yeah, you're right. Everyone says like, buy property. It's the right thing to do. But how?
Yeah.
Not the steps when you've committed to making that thing, but the savings part.
Yeah.
Because that really is the gas that's going to fuel your car to financial freedom.
100%. It's the unsexy thing you need to do well before you actually purchase.
That is the word. It's the unsexy thing. It is really boring.
Yeah.
It is really hard. It reminds me a lot of working out.
Yeah.
But you get tremendous benefits by implementing some savings habits.
When you look back at the long-term work that you did, the reward is it feels very good.
Wow. Hey, look at me. I used to work at a butcher shop, and I remember every week I had so much pride in putting like $250 a paycheck aside. Mm-hmm. And I watched it grow to like $5,000. I was like 18, 19. That was like huge for me because it's like, wow, I saved $5,000. That's when you could buy a car for like $2,500. So it was a big deal.
Yeah.
And I've always kind of try to develop the habit further to super savings and to really put whatever I have aside into something that will grow.
Yeah.
And I think of it very simply. There's positives and there's negatives. Where can I put my money where it turns into a positive and not waste it on negatives, i.e. Gucci belts? Now I feel about Gucci belts. I think we get caught in this trap of like trying to impress others with money we don't have.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the slippery slope you get into that will never give you the ability to buy. Because the only thing holding someone back from buying a home is really the down payment. That's the biggest hurdle.
Yes.
We all work, we all have jobs, so we all have income. So technically we can qualify for something, but it's that down payment that's going to determine how far
you can go. Yeah.
So I put down 4 or 5, maybe 6 thoughts of ways to kind of tackle this, and we'll just have a kind of a conversation about that.
Yeah.
Sounds good?
Sounds good.
Okay. Let's see where the coffee's at. Oh, I just lost my...
Oh, maybe we'll do a wiggle.
Yeah. Yeah, you take over from here for a second.
Okay.
There we go. I'm back in.
Okay. Kick off with the first one. I think it's
simple, but it's hard. Set a savings goal.
Yeah.
So let's kind of reverse engineer the process of what it is you want to end up at and work your way back so you know how much to put aside every week, every month, every year to get you to your goal. Don't really have an ambitious plan of buying a detached house off the hop unless you're incredibly privileged to make a lot of money and a really good saver. I think you got to kind of pivot and maybe start with a condo. Mm-hmm. And if that's even out of range, maybe start with a pre-construction condo. We could have that conversation another day. But really, the point is to start coming up with some realistic numbers and work backwards from there.
So I really like this point. I haven't done this before, but this seems like really good practice to use. Is just reverse engineering.
Yeah.
It's something as simple. First off, figure out your goal. So that is all of this. I put in the notes that I'm going to actually implement this. This is something I'm going to start doing.
Awesome. Yeah.
But put in a goal and aim for an actual target, a realistic target, and then work backwards from there. And then that's what you're working towards each month, each week, and take it in bite-sized pieces as opposed to. Trying to think you have to get this gigantic sum of money that's never going to come.
Right. This is the best thing I've ever heard that I use it so many times in everyday life. What's the best way to eat an elephant? Do you know the answer to that?
I'm assuming one bite at a time.
Correct. Yeah. Good job, Joey. Yes, one bite at a time. And I thought that was I think about that when I'm shoveling snow. Mm-hmm. You have this massive driveway that you got to shovel. You're like, I'm never going to finish it. But one shovel at a time, compounded over 3 hours in some Toronto snowstorms, you get the driveway cleared. And it's the same analogy with savings. So let's just have a little fun reverse engineering this. You can get it realistically. You can buy a condo in Toronto, maybe even downtown in this market for $600,000. Mm-hmm. So if you want to put 20% down, you're going to need $120K plus about 4% of closing costs. We'll call it $24,000. So let's round it up to $150,000 you're going to have to save. Wow, that's a lot of money.
Yep.
If you're making 40, 60, 80K a year, how am I going to save that? Every little bit, every little time. Every paycheck, you're going to want to pull a little bit aside. We've got some more steps that we're going to get into that. But starting with that goal of just saying, okay, my goal is 150.
Yep.
Simple.
Yep.
Step one, done. You're not even figuring out ways to get there yet. You're just saying, this is what I'm working towards.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
And I use Tangerine for my savings account, and you can set up goals in there. Now all the banks are doing it. I think BMO has a good one, a few others.
They have goal settings within the app?
Within the app.
Okay, that's interesting.
So you can see, I'm a visual guy. If I see a circle, I'm a quarter of the way there. I'm motivated to get to the whole circle, right?
Yeah.
But those little types of avenues and those type of services really help you see that goal and how close or far away you are from it.
Yep.
Because you might have to pivot on your path to savings to get yourself there. So step one, set a savings goal.
I like it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Reverse engineer.
Reverse engineer it.
So number 2, this one I really like. And this one, funny enough, I'm not sure how often people do this, but create a budget. Mm-hmm. I think this one's really important. This one actually helps. I think it's important to sit back, take all your finances into play. You absolutely have every month expenses that come out. There's the every month expenses like living and there's rent, hydro, all that type of stuff. There's also entertainment expenses that happen. You have to be brutally honest with your entertainment expenses.
Yep.
And I think the important thing is to see where your money goes. If you've never done this before, it's actually really interesting what you can find about your spending habits.
Yep.
Because if you're constantly blind to where your money is going, really the old adage is if you're not on top of your money, then your money's on top of you. Have you ever heard that?
Maybe I'm okay with my money on top of me, but I get what you're saying, and I like that.
But the idea, the idea behind you have to be thinking about it.
Yeah. Otherwise,
it just starts to run away from you.
Yeah. So in full transparency, I suck at budgets. Mm-hmm. I don't work well trying to follow a budget. I know it's the right thing to do, but I suck at it. And I'm thankfully have a wife who tremendously excels at budgeting. Like when we first started to talk about putting our finances together, she's like, let me see your spreadsheets. I'm like, okay, sure. No, I don't have one. And she's like, what? And she showed me hers, and I was like, down to the penny, she knew where her money was going.
Really? Eh?
Yeah. And that's one of the things I love about her. Cause she's so financially savvy in that sense. And so on it.
Yeah.
She's on top of her money.
So that's really good. Actually, Molly helped me with my expense as well.
Thank God for our partners.
Same thing.
Thank God. No, it's really good. It's good to find someone who can teach you that and show you how they've done it. And you just feel more better when you know what you can spend on and what you really should not be.
Yes. Yeah. You make educated decisions.
Yeah. And I like what you said about just sitting down and mapping it all out. To help you with that, you could just open up your credit card statement, see where your money's going, open up your bank account, see your debit cards, where that's going.
Yeah.
There was an app called Mint that I was using for a while, and I know TD has a built-in one. I think it's called My Spend or something like that, where it'll physically show you where your money's going to, and it'll categorize.
Yeah.
So you can see again that pie chart of 75% went to entertainment.
Yeah, 100%. And it actually RBC does the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. A simple thing. Like here's transportation. Here's rent.
Yeah,
whatever the case is.
I've noticed all the big banks, even some of the independents like Quest Trade, I think one of them. There's a lot of commercials for them offering that service.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And it's something that, and maybe it is even better. Sometimes it's simplifying is better. Sometimes making it as easy as possible is the way to go. And I've done it pen and paper where
for sure.
Just take a month out, take a month or 3 months and just go through those statements, write it out and just look at it. sometimes you just like, it's a lot more grasp than when you see just, RBC spitting a graph at you and you're like, cool.
Fair. Yeah. Putting pen to paper, I'm sure is a really good exercise to really see it.
Yeah, exactly. It just gets a little more like ingrained in your brain.
You're writing it out. You're accountable to it. Yeah. I like that. I like to start with my essential expenses. So like these are the ones you can't get away from, which is your living costs, your lease payments, food, like stuff that you need per month. And then I kind of look at like the nice to haves, like if you have gym memberships, a couple things that I find a lot of people get stuck in is subscriptions.
Yeah, that's a nightmare. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause, sign up, get 3 months free. Cool. Then it's like, or sign up at a really low price. And then after the first year, you're like, what the heck? Yeah. What is this $500 going to? I'm terrible with that. I sign up for so many things online.
Same here.
And then forget about it.
Yeah.
But you have a good strategy you've told me about.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was going to say, should we even say this on air? But I think this
100%.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Yeah. Okay. So if you find yourself like, I don't even know where I'm going, every month I'm just seeing subscriptions I forgot I signed up with like ages ago.
Yeah.
You can call the credit card company and report a lost credit card.
Yep.
And it will cancel everything for you. It changes your credit card number, which means nobody can keep hitting your credit card, and you can pick and choose what you allow back into your monthly subscriptions.
I think you should, once a year, credit card companies should make you do that. I mean, they're motivated for you not to do that, for you to spend. I get it. But I think that's like a good strategy to do every 2 years, even if you're on top of it, just to be like, okay, there's nothing missing in the loops.
Yep.
Because it's not even like the credit card now. I find Apple have a lot of these things that I've signed up for, and I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah. Yeah. And there's like little split second decisions where you're like, it's not that much money. Let me just expand my storage, or let me just, whatever the case is. And you make that decision and you forget about it. And then you don't realize that you haven't been using it. I have an Adobe thing that I don't even know what it is, but like I have not been able to get rid of it on my credit card for ages. And I just canceled it recently.
How does that make you feel?
It's so frustrated.
You want to know the worst one I found that I signed up for? For being honest here, and I appreciate you, being vulnerable and honest. I signed up for acid reflux hypnosis. And I'm like, they're like, your 3 months is up. It's another $90 for another 3 months. I'm like, wait, what? Those damn Instagram ads, it got me again. Yeah. It wasn't bad, actually. It was very calming to do it. We can get into stomach issues on a whole other episode. But on that note, our espressos are ready.
That's right.
We should, pinkies up. I'm going to just hang on a second here. Let me just left hand it. Yeah, there we go. Pinkies up.
There we go.
How good does that smell?
Oh, there you go.
Buongiorno.
That's good.
We're in Italian mode.
Perry.
Alouette.
I think that's just where the culture of my brain just doesn't meld properly.
Europe is one big country to Joey. They speak all that. You've been to Italy? Nah, but I've been to Europe. That actually didn't happen. But anyways, we're getting off topic here. Yeah. Create a budget is the important thing. Look for the quiet killers.
Yes.
Eating out. This guy, I'm putting to me, very guilty of that.
I'll point to me.
Point to you as well.
Like for instance, if you're doing 2 orders or something, maybe do 1.
Yeah. Or like, don't say, hey, where's my eggs, and get 4 on top of it for free.
Hey, for free is not bad though.
You know what? That is financially savvy. I approve. But the other big boy, and this guy's the killer of all killers, Uber Eats.
This is my shame button here.
Don't do it, man.
I know.
I want to put a picture of me in your wallet. So every time, not that you open your wallet to order Uber Eats anymore, maybe put me on the background of your phone.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sure Molly will be all right with that. Don't do it.
Yeah, I know.
Uber Eats, I've ordered it 3 times in my life. They're all been terrible experiences.
Yeah.
Food came cold. I paid 3 times the price. The process sucks, and it's really bad for your budget.
Yeah. It is. It's a guilty one. It's a guilty one. I think anybody who does it knows that it's one of those things that you shouldn't be doing.
Oh, it's 100% like smoking.
Yeah.
I don't smoke and never have, but like I know people, nobody likes smoking. They're just like, I don't know. It just feels like comfortable and the right thing to do, right? Or a better analogy is like budgeting is like dieting. Like nobody likes it, but it is good for you.
Yeah. Find ways to cut down. I think the biggest thing is like, once you have your expense sheet out, like first get the expense sheet, see where your money's going, and then see on the essentials, maybe there's a way you can save, and then on the nice to haves, maybe you can cut out some things.
Yeah.
Or lessen it. Like if you're doing Uber Eats once a week, maybe do it once every other week. Something along those lines. Or never.
Thank you. No, no Uber Eats.
All right, yeah.
Go see people, because you know what? If you deleted the Uber Eats from your phone, you're like, oh man, to go get that Big Mac, I got to go to McDonald's.
Maybe that's what I need to do.
That will deter you.
Deleting the app.
Yeah. Oh, I got a great app for you. It's called freedom.io. And because I'm addicted to social media, I had to put this thing on my phone to stop me from using social media after like 9 o'clock.
Oh, that's good. I have one of those that are built into iPhone, and it prompts you, and I just hit save it for another day.
That's like menthol cigarettes. It's like, oh, well, it tastes nice. Still a cigarette, man. No, that is weak. That is Apple's way of trying to like appease the lawmakers of being like, look, we're trying to limit people's usage. Freedom is like tying your arms behind your back. There is no way around this app.
Really, eh?
And you could put Uber Eats on it, any apps you want to stop yourself from using. So you could block it out for a certain time, or you could just be like, nah, like it's just blocked.
Okay.
Yeah, Freedom. I'll put it in the show notes. It's a really good one.
So I'm going to say that all these tips I'm going to start implementing. Every tip we go through in this process, I'm going to start implementing.
There's always room for improvement. There's several on here that, I'm only starting to get more on top of now to be more prudent with it. But these are all things that are going to help you save and get closer to home ownership. And these are the steps you have to take to get there. It doesn't just happen unless you're a member of the bank of mom and dad and you're the only child. And sometimes it does happen. But for the majority of people out there, mom and dad don't have $1 million to give you to go buy a place. So you got to make it on your own. And it starts with saving, which gets us into point 3.
Yep.
Minimize your debt.
Yes.
Now, some people you talk to, there's a really good author. He's like so well known. It's slipping my mind right now, but I read like 3 of his books. Debt Snowball. Does any of this sound familiar? No. He's an American. Oh, no. Very heavy accent. You want to save your money. You don't want to spend it. You're being stupid. Come on. He just talks like that. I can't remember his name, but his books are really good. And he has this thing that's his financial planning always starts with eliminating your debt first. Before you do any type of saving, start with that. And it makes sense because if your credit card debt is, let's use 20%, saving at 2% isn't really going to get you ahead if you're losing that every month for that. So before you start the savings habit, pay down all that debt.
Yeah, this is a big one.
Go to it.
Yeah, it's like, that should be the first hyper priority of, if you're putting if you're putting money away in savings, you should realistically for the first little while, you should be tackling that debt. That should be the first step.
That should be the first one. Yeah. The Debt Snowball. The author's name is Dave Ramsey.
Oh, Dave Ramsey.
Yeah,
I know Dave Ramsey. Your accent threw me for a loop.
It doesn't sound like that? I'm Dave Ramsey. You gotta be smart with your money. No? Is that not Dave Ramsey?
Even a little bit.
Oh, man. Well, Dave Ramsey doesn't care. He just wants you to save. Save your money.
So here's a fun fact about minimum payments and credit cards.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, I'm sure everybody knows if you only do the minimum payments, you're not really getting anywhere on your credit cards. But I just wanted to draw it out in numbers because sometimes just having that like tangible thing, it really puts it in perspective. If you have $5,000 in credit card debt, let's call it 20%, which is
is the fee you have to pay for
pretty
that.
much
Standard.
Pretty much standard. Yeah. The typical minimum payment is 3% of that debt. So $150. That's what they ask of you to pay. So every month you're paying $150. If you were to only make minimum payments, it would take you 20 years and 11 months to pay that off completely.
That's insane.
Is that not absurd?
It should be illegal. Dave Ramsey doesn't like it. It should be illegal. What?
You got him in Australia a little bit.
Was that Australia?
Yeah, a little bit.
Little dingo? What in the heck is going on? No, that should be legal. What the heck? I mean, I get it. Everyone's got to make money, but 20%.
20 years, 11 months to pay it off completely. You're also paying $5,000, almost $6,000 in interest. So you're paying more than double in interest to hold that debt.
And I think, so one thing that I think it's a Canadian government, I don't know, someone implemented a rule where on your credit card statement, they have to show you how long it's going to take you to pay it off. It's on all credit card statements.
I have not seen it.
Right, because most people get it online and nobody has to check through 5 pages. It's a whole conspiracy we got going on here. Don't get me started. But if you scroll down, it's usually the last page of your credit card bill. It will tell you if you make minimum payments, it will take you 20 years and 11 months to pay this off.
Yeah,
and this is the amount.
So it's insane. But in a lighter note, because that's terrifying when you have debt on a credit card.
Yeah.
If you take the 3%, so you do let's say $150 per month, and you add just $100 more to it a month. I mean, it's it still can be
It's something. Yeah.
But $100, so $250 a month instead of the 150, it would take you 3 years and 2 months. So think about how quick,
wow.
just adding $100, that took out what, 7 years?
Wow. No, I think that's a lot more than 7 years. You went from 20 to how?
Or sorry, 20. Yeah. 20 to 3.
Yeah, that's 17,
That's like 17 years. Sorry.
Dave Ramsey wants to know what school you went to, Joey. Come on, man. It's okay. It's the coffee. It's not your fault, man.
Dave Ramsey impression is next level.
Dave Ramsey. It's not half today, Joey. Jesus Almighty. And okay, so I want to supercharge this. This tip: minimize your debt, because if you've developed the habit of putting aside the minimums, or even a little bit more, like you're suggesting, which is a great idea, you've developed the habit of that coming out of your monthlies. You could put that into a savings once you've knocked this off, and that's when you really start growing.
Exactly.
We're going to get into that in a tip further down, but don't think once you've paid it off that you should stop doing that, because now you develop that habit, and habits is really where it's all at. Because I tell my sister, I don't care if you make like $1, if you can put $1 aside, put that damn dollar aside, because compounding over time, it will add up to 10, to 100, to 1,000, to 1,000,000. It happens all the time. But it's that habit that you need to develop to get to there. And if you're not doing it, you'll never start.
Yeah, that's where we get. So we were having a conversation about this recently, and we were talking about this idea that when you think in this way that like, how am I ever going to get to 150? That's impossible. Like that number is just unachievable. It's easy to think that, the only way I can get to that point is if I just get that first big chunk of money. But realistically, it is these little increments that get you there. Huge trick is to not look at that stuff. Like when you're putting it away, it needs to be just
quick and easy. And that's a perfect segue to let's get into this.
We can.
You want to jump into it?
Yeah, we can go back on the. No, okay. Let's go in order.
So step 4 is increasing your income.
Yeah.
Now you might be saying, well, I'm already working 40 hours a week. Where am I going to find time to increase my income? There's always ways. In the beginning, when I was trying to save up for myself, there was focus groups. I don't know if they still do focus groups, but like I was getting paid $50 to $100 an hour to sit in a room and give my opinion on something. I told this lady, sign me up for anything. I will travel anywhere. And I traveled far for that $50 to $100. It was cash. It wasn't taxable income. Sorry, CRA. Got it on the spot. And I would instantly I'd either buy a book to try to learn more about finances and real estate and all that stuff, or put it into my savings account. That's the only place that money went to. And there's always these little side gigs. You could do dog walking. You can do babysitting. You could do anything that gives you a little bit extra to help accelerate that. Do it.
Yeah.
And you see all these people who've to get to the top, it's never easy, man. You got to struggle. You got to put in that extra effort and work above and beyond the average person.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not comfortable. It's not comfortable. And the thing is, if you have your expenses in a certain way and your income is just not cutting it, then you just have to put in the work to either extend it or cut back. Like you either play offense or you play defense.
Yeah.
Really at the end of the day. And if you're happy with your lifestyle and you want to keep it and you want to save more, you need to figure out how to play more offense, or you have to figure out how to play defense.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? I love how you put it like that. I find myself more the offensive. I don't like saving. What saving? Well, I'm just going to sit on the money and save it. No, I got to do something more with it. And that's another tip that we have coming up. But you always want to try to be offensive with your money, where you're trying to not just hoard it and be cheap, but put it into things that you can kind of help it grow into bigger and better things. And so I always like maybe it's not even dog walking. Maybe it's just asking your employer, is there a couple extra shifts I could pick up? Can I come in on the weekends? Is there another role I can do? Is there other responsibilities I can take on to make a little bit more money? Maybe tell your employer, I really want to get into the market. I'm trying to save up every way I can.
Yep.
Is there any way you here at work can help me? I'm happy to put it in just to help me get to that goal quicker.
Yep.
They would, which employer wouldn't want that?
100%.
That eager person that's trying to, get ahead.
Yep.
So find ways to increase your income. And now let's get into number 5, because this one really is my favorite part of the process.
Agree.
It's okay. You drop it.
Yeah. So this was a game changer for me. Automate your savings. So this for me is the moment that something comes in, you are dispersing it and putting it away before you even have a chance to admire it and then spend it on something that you shouldn't be.
Damn right. Did you learn that from me?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll share the story about how this came up. First couple of years of me in real estate, I got burned pretty bad with taxes. I didn't realize how much the government collects off of you. No one really told me that. They don't really teach you that in real estate school. But I quickly developed the habit of setting up a separate account. So my main primarily bank is TD, and I set up a Tangerine account. out of sight, out of mind. I couldn't see it on my phone. I couldn't log into, like, it was hard for me to access that money. I didn't get a card. So there's no way to touch that account whatsoever.
Yep.
And from every deal, I would move my HST money and put it into that account. And I would take 25% to save for taxes. And again, just developing the habit of not relying on my full income to live my life and maybe live a little bit more of a moderate life. But I forced the savings. The second that paycheck, within the one day, that money was gone.
Yep. Yeah.
And I can't tell you how good it feels when my accountant's like, you owe this much money. I'm like, got it.
Yeah. Yep.
So you can do that with really, like, this is for self-employed people, but even if you're salaried or you work for an employer, whatever the case is, you can set up $2, $5, $500 to come from your paycheck every month into a savings account.
Yep.
And it's automatically happens. You don't got to think about it. It's a step you don't have to do, because when you confuse, you lose. So the easier you can make it, the quicker it is, the better you'll get into that habit of saving.
Very simple. So I used to do, before we met, I used to do this, but here's, I'm gonna say this was a really good trick that I didn't implement before, and ever since I did it, it was like a game changer, which is, the Tangerine account is a really important piece to the puzzle.
Yes.
So what I used to do is I used to have two accounts, and like most people do.
In your main bank.
Yeah. You just have two, and whenever you need to move savings over, you just move it over, but you see both the numbers there when you're looking in your app, and you're like, I have this much money.
Yeah.
So as much as it's going into your savings, your brain still sees it as all one sum.
Accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the real key move is move it in a place where you can't see it. Like that is such I can't express how important that is.
Yeah.
They had, for little things. So RBC started with Nomi, which happened a while ago. And it was, basically would pull money out of your main account, and just every day you can put a cap on it, $20 a day. If you swipe with your debit card, or if you have the money in there, it'll put it in your account for you, your savings account for you.
It's activated every time you swipe your card?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think so. It's either that, or it figures out on a daily basis where your budget's at.
Okay.
And I don't know how it works, honestly, but it pulls it away. And that worked for me for a little while. But at the same time, you
still saw it.
You still see it.
So I do something similar with TD. There's two little tricks you can do, very simple tricks. One, speaking of Australia, my cousins have family in Australia. He told me this trick, and I thought it was such a simple way to do it. Every day he checks his account. Whatever cents he has, so if he has $250.53,
oh man,
he moves the 53 into a separate account every night. It takes a bit of discipline, but I guess he's developed the habit of every night checking to see his expenses. It might be excessive to some, but I thought it was a pretty cool idea to just put aside that money.
It's habits. Yeah,
it's habits, right? TD has something that I use that every time I swipe my card, I get not charged, but they take $2 out of my checking account.
Okay.
And put it into a separate account.
Oh, this is something built into...
I had a call to set it up, but it's a service they offer. So you could set any amount that every time you swipe your card, savings happen.
Okay.
So I did that, and I just set it for $2. You'd be surprised at the end of the month how much money's in that account.
That's what I'm telling you. The little bite-sized pieces, like, it shocks you when at the end of it.
Yeah, and that was a reminder that every time I was swiping my card, I was like, do I want to take $2 out of my account? So just to clarify, the money doesn't go to TD. It's your money.
Yeah.
You just moves it into a separate account. But it's almost as if I was taxing myself and kind of trying to teach myself not to use my debit card so much, right? to limit the usage. Like, do I really need to make this expenditure? Because I'm going to get $2 just for swiping it.
Yeah.
And by doing all that, at the end of the month, you look at your account, like, holy crow, look how much money I've got saved aside there. But here's the secret sauce. If you've listened to the podcast for this long, this is where the real value is going to be going. You cannot just sit on that money. You cannot put it in a simple savings account earning 2%, 3%, whatever. You have to invest it. That is the real accelerator to get you to your goals quicker. Now, I get the hesitation. I just saved up $50,000 and you want me to gamble it in the stock market? No, because David Ramsey thinks that's just foolish. But I'll tell you what you should do. You should really educate yourself.
Dave Ramsey sounds like a WWE wrestler.
Oh, yeah, brother. Oh, yeah. Dave Ramsey, the wrath of debt savings. That's not even a word, but Dave Ramsey doesn't care. You really got to look at some investments that you can put yourself into. And it doesn't need to be an aggressive stock or anything like that. Again, it's not meant to be sexy. You shouldn't be saying, I made a 2,000% return on my investment, because you're probably going to lose that the next day, as I have with wheat stocks a lot. I had to educate myself. I lost a lot of money, but I also learned a lot of lessons that are going to help me for the future of it all. Right now, a GIC from Tangerine is paying 5.75%.
Yeah.
That is a guaranteed investment. So you have zero risk of doing that, of losing your money in that. Like it's guaranteed. Literally, you give them the 50,000 and they say, congrats. In a year, you will get X amount back.
Yeah.
That's a very simple, safe way to grow your money. Now, what you've done is you can only work 40 to 60 hours a week, but your money is still working for you. It's growing at an accelerated rate.
Yeah.
And as you compound those investments and you keep putting more money into it, that's what's really going to help accelerate the growth.
Yes.
And that's where I was saying defense and offensive. I think defense, a lot of people are like, I need to save, live a cheap life, a very frugal life. I don't live like that. I go out, I'm Michelin Mark.
Yeah.
I eat. But I know what I can spend, and that's why I do spend when I can. And whatever money I can save, I try to put into investments to get that positive and not put into a negative, i.e. Gucci belt.
Yep.
You and I buy watches. I like watches, but all my watches, I'm very careful to make sure I'm buying something that's going to appreciate in value.
Yes.
It's not investing in things that are going to depreciate. So like even a Gucci watch, that's not a smart investment, right? Certain Rolex brands, I'm not saying people should be doing this to get to their home quicker, but it's all about finding those assets that are going to appreciate. And for the purpose of this podcast, a simple GIC will do that for you.
Yeah.
A balanced ETF. I really like this website, the Canadian Couch Potato.
Yeah. Never heard of it.
You should.
Yeah.
He's got 25 episodes of a podcast. He stopped doing it, but they're such good, informative, local, Toronto or Canadian based advice that you can do to really slowly build up that fund. And you can get deeper into the weeds of putting your money in a tax-free savings account. So all the interest you're earning on that, you're not paying taxes on. Whole other topic. Yeah. But there is so many tools available for you to really help grow your wealth.
Yeah.
And what I hate is when people are like, it's so hard. Yeah, life is hard.
Yeah.
Always has been, always will be. There's no magic time in life where it's like, $2 million house, easy. You're probably going to be going to jail if that is happening in your life because you're doing something else on the side. But it's never easy.
Yeah.
It's always hard. But setting yourself up and taking those steps. And so when someone's complaining, I says, well, are you using your tax-free savings account? Well, I don't know what that is. Okay, well, let's start there.
Yeah.
Do you have a budget? That's hard. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Hard decisions, easy life. Easy decisions, hard life.
Yep.
You choose what you want.
Yeah, it's true. Really that leap of faith that if you've never done it before and it's something brand new to you, to actually put your money into something that gives you a return, it is a leap of faith.
It is. Go ahead. Yeah.
Because even with the GIC, you're putting yourself into a situation where I can't access that money if I need it. Mm-hmm. So you have to, but that's really how you start growing yourself a little bit further than just what that 9-to-5 job can give you, or just whatever your main income. If you're not looking to add another 20 hours into your week or something along those lines, this is that next step that you can do without actively working at it.
And there's do you know what GIC stands for?
No, actually.
Guaranteed Investment Certificate.
Oh, there you go.
And that's fine. A lot of people don't know. It's wild how little we know about these financial things. I've spent so much time, even on the government websites, just trying to learn what all these terms and all these tools are, because they're there. Let's try to utilize them and make it work. But it's a guaranteed investment.
Yeah.
This is your savings money, so you shouldn't need it. If you've budgeted properly and you've done everything else correctly, you shouldn't need to worry about that money, and you should be able to put it in there because your goal is what you're reaching towards, and that money's not, you should be touching it. So a GIC is the no-brainer right now. 5.75, just do it, especially if you're very risk averse. If you're a little bit more risky, you could put in an ETF like the S&P 500. Vanguard has a really good fund. Again, maybe getting ahead of the podcast's purpose, but you get on average a 8 to 10% return. That's money that you don't have the time in your life to earn. It's earning on the side for you. So while you're doing your 9-to-5, you've got another hustle. Remember, you said find other ways to make income. This is
offense. Yeah.
Yeah. It's compounding the two tips to really help you grow, to get you there quicker and sooner.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to add one more piece to the automate your savings and pull that money out prior. I heard this recently and I thought this was a really good idea. And it just takes the idea of that tangerine account and the savings tangerine account and makes it a little more expansive.
Okay.
So something that I think I'm going to be doing soon as well. But the way, and a really cool way that you could set up your accounts is you have your income account. Mm-hmm. So if you have multiple jobs or if you have whatever income that you're getting, there's no debit card associated with this account. This is strictly just, it only brings money in.
Okay.
So you can see where what you're making. And when that money comes in, you'll be able to see each month, and you divvy up your paycheck within different accounts.
Okay.
So not just a savings account, but you can, if you want to keep your entertainment life in there and you don't want to just cut everything out, you can budget for that.
Yep.
It just, make sure it's not eating all of your income.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say, for instance, you have a savings account, put 40% of your income or 30% of your income into the savings account. Then you take another 15%, you put it into a tax account that for when income tax time rolls around. Then you have, let's say, another 40%, 30% for your living expenses. And then you can budget one more account for a little entertainment. And you can put like 5%, 3% of your, so, you know, say 5%, even 5% is fine. Like at the end of the month, if you have $200 to spend on entertainment, you know, you got to cut back. You got to figure out how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, there's so many apps that now help you save. It's just taking that into account and using them. My wife, shout out my wife. I think I shout her out in every episode. She doesn't think I shout her out enough. Babe, love you. Dave Ramsey loves you too, honey. And my wife is incredible at finding savings. No, like she's got an MBA in savings.
Okay.
In terms of like our monthlies, she could find deals like you've never found. Like she's insane with this stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. She's like, I saved us 40 cents on this. I'm like, what the hell's 40 cents? Well, it adds up over time. And she's absolutely right. As much as I hate to admit it to her, I'm saying it to the public. She's right. She finds ways where like, she'll go to 3 different grocery stores to keep our monthlies down to try to find ways to, you know, save, because all that money, we, instead of it spending it on overpriced groceries, we could put it towards our savings goals and try to get more property or take that vacation or whatever it is we're working towards. So really having a partner is also a super savings technique. Or I guess what I'm trying to say is no, but like having that understanding between both of you that you're in it together. Because if you have one partner who's like spending on watches, me, and one who's trying to save on groceries, her, you could have a really conflicting relationship and it's going to be hard for you to reach your goals. But having both of you together, and we sat down and we said like, this is what we're trying to work towards. This is the money we got to put aside for X, Y, and Z. And like, it was a real eye opener of how much money was coming out per month for us to have our lifestyle when we sat down and did it.
Right.
And I was like, wow, like, yeah, I do have to watch what I spend now that I have a partner in my life and bigger expenses and other things coming towards us. So,
it is an eye opener. That budget sheet is like, it really could be shocking sometimes.
Yeah. That's tip 2. Yeah. Maybe it should be tip 1 to start. No, start with the saving goal is still tip 1.
Yeah.
And this is the last one. And maybe it's a little bit fluffy and maybe it's like, yeah, okay, cool. But stay motivated.
Yeah.
The tenacity. You gotta be like the dog on the bone. You cannot get off that. You have to stay, what's the word I'm looking for? You got to stay like on your goal.
Yeah.
I can say it in a better way. Maybe I should bring Dave Ramsey in.
Oh, okay. Bring Dave Ramsey in for this one.
Don't mess it up. That's what Dave would say.
He's going more and more off the beaten path.
Hey, Dave had a couple of espressos this morning, right? Dave ain't. Well, I'm sorry. Let me just say another thing about that. Okay. I make my own coffee at home every day.
Oh, there you go.
I very rarely go, well, half the coffee is garbage in the city. That's part of the reason. But like any way we can save, like, you know, Starbucks is what, $8?
Yeah. If you're doing like one of those Frappa-Chappas,
$8. Have you tried a booster juice?
No.
You want to know how much one costs? I had one in my life and I'm like, nope.
Wait, is it booster? Yeah. I think I've had a booster juice.
Yeah. How much was it? Do you remember?
No, I can't remember.
Okay. $12. Well, my booster juice was $12.
Yeah. What is that? That's a whole meal.
I'll tell you what it is. That's a shake my wife makes for us in the morning by going to Costco, buying frozen fruits. We dry our own spinach. We turn it into a powder. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff we do.
Oh man, you dry your own spinach?
Well, she does. I just thank her for it. But you know, having one of those every morning easily at minimum is $5-6 in savings. Times 2 of us is 10. Now, if you go to Booster Juice, that's $24 for a breakfast.
Yeah.
She packs her lunch when she goes into the office.
There you go.
That's the savings of God. I don't know. She works downtown like $30-40.
Yeah.
I went to the Path with one day to get some food with her. It was $60. Like, what? Where's my Manchu walk? What is this? $60. I used to go to like, anyway, there's a whole other topic, but like little things like that go a long way.
Yeah.
To eat into your thing.
Yeah. And it keeps coming back to just bite size.
Yeah.
It keeps coming back to bite size.
And that's where staying motivated is so important, is not losing track of your goal.
Yeah. So I think this is something we talk about so much, and like it just in our regular everyday conversations. And it's like, it's very easy to get lost in the weeds of what you're doing in your day-to-day basis.
Yep.
And it's so important to take a moment to keep your eye on the prize and see that big picture. The big picture is what keeps you going.
Yeah.
It's what keeps you making those like good decisions day after day and moment after moment. And it's when you get lost in it and you're just like, you're in the whirlwind of just life. That's when you lose it, and you lose the motivation, and you're like, it's impossible. Screw it. I'm just going to Uber Eats myself to death.
Yeah. Which we will not be doing anymore. Right.
Right. Yeah.
Do we put a pinky pack?
Oh God.
John Ramsey wants to feel your pinky.
oh my God. All right.
Joey will never use Uber Eats again.
Oh God.
And if you do, what happens?
Oh man,
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose this quick.
Yeah, I don't care. I have nothing to lose. Dave Ramsey doesn't care either.
Oh, what happens? Oh man, I'm just setting myself up for
Just don't do it, man. Just think of the children.
Oh my god, it's gonna involve
Not
children.
that you have children, just think of the children. No, just think of your future and what you want out of it, right?
Yeah.
Each Uber order is taking you further away from that goal.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uber's not going to like us.
This is going to turn into a session for Joe.
Dave Rams is here for you, Joey. All right, let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
6 steps to getting you there. I'll cover step 1.
Okay.
Get a savings goal, find out what you're working towards, and reverse engineer it.
Beautiful. Step number 2, create that budget sheet, whether it's online or written on paper. Figure out where your money's actually going.
I like it. Dave Ramsey wants you to get rid of bad debt for step 3. I don't know where Dave Ramsey's from anymore.
It's starting to sound like the guy from Family Guy.
Family Guy, that's what I'm going towards. The old man?
Yeah.
You want a popsicle? That guy? He wish us wouldn't talk.
Beautiful. Which one did you do?
Dave Ramsey did step 3. Get rid of bad debt, Joey.
Okay, step 4. Let me do my Dave Ramsey.
Oh, please.
It's going to be completely different.
Okay,
ready?
I got to close my eyes on this one.
All right. Don't be stupid. Increase your income.
Ooh, that's a better Dave Ramsey. You in the Dave Ramsey voice. That's a really good Dave Ramsey. Don't be stupid. Increase your income. Play more offense.
Yeah, play more offense.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Back to my voice. Automate those savings. And super saver tip, invest.
Yeah.
Start educating yourself. Talk to financial advisors. Tell them, oh, I'm risk averse. I don't want to lose this hard-earned money. What are some simple, safe things I could put my funds in? People have answers. They will share them with you.
Yeah, honestly, start with a YouTube video. Keep it nice and simple even.
Oh, I thought you were going to say start making YouTube videos.
Oh, no. Start giving financial advice.
Yeah, who needs education? Just start.
Talk about those side hustles.
Yeah,
man.
like
Play that
us.
offense. And number 6, the high level.
You want to say it together?
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Stay motivated.
We're thinking Betty.
Oh, that's coming. I showed you what I've got coming for that.
Yeah.
Keep your eye on the prize. Really remember what your goal is. It goes back to step 1. You have that savings goal. Look at it daily, weekly, monthly. Keep track of what you're trying to work towards. And that's getting your first place. And hey, look, even if it's not your first place, you really want just financial freedom, because once you buy the place, you're trying to pay it off. So your goal is always to make more money and try to give yourself an easier life of not having these high commitments.
Also, good point. Yeah. It is a thing of like, once you've crossed that hurdle, it's not like, oh, you've made it now. You still got to finish. Yeah.
Yeah. Then the expenses really start.
Yeah.
But you have the habits in place to help you get there a lot quicker and easier, and to then manage that once your real estate life starts.
That's it. You sacrifice now for the future freedom, really.
Oh, you want to know what I want on my tombstone?
What?
Or actually, I don't want to die, so maybe not my tombstone. Maybe just like a temporary tattoo on my arm.
Okay.
I say this all the time, and people hate when especially my sister, but it's the truth. Choke today to breathe tomorrow. Okay?
Yep.
Live a little tight now. And she's gonna be like, you don't live tight, you travel all the time. Yeah, but I live tight, trust me. I can live a lot more reckless. I restrain myself quite a bit. So I could breathe better tomorrow. So I'm always trying to set myself up. Let's try to get as many properties as we have, pay them down as quickly as we can. So maybe I don't have to work so much and I could just do podcasts with Joey all day. I don't know, whatever fun stuff we can get into. But my mantra is choke today to breathe tomorrow.
I like it.
Yeah. Well, we're almost at an hour, buddy.
Yeah, this was. You know what? When these notes started, I was like, "This is gonna be a hefty one."
Yeah, I thought we could bang it out in like a quick 30, but no, it takes a lot to unlock the secrets to savings and buy your dream home faster.
Ooh.
Any shout outs?
Shout outs. I'm gonna do a double shout out for Beer Town because I actually went this week. Beer Town, Sawdust City.
Sawdust City. Take me down to the Sawdust City where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Oh, won't you please be with me? Yeah. Well, I want to shout out David Ramsey, the first. This is an unpredictable shout out because we didn't think he was going to be
in this one,
but he might make a
guest appearance.
He might make several. I like Dave Ramsey. I like your Dave Ramsey better though.
Oh, yours is pretty solid though.
Thanks, man. Mine's the old creepy guy from Family Guy though. Can you do one more, Dave, for me?
Yeah. Don't be stupid. What do you mean income?
No, he likes income.
I mean, what do you mean debt?
Yeah.
No debt. Get rid of your debt.
Death to debt. That would be our rock band. Death to debt.
Death to debt.
Yeah. Financial savings.
It's a rock band all about finance.
Death to debt. Death to debt. Everybody, death to debt.
Sounds like a Misfits song. That's fantastic.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Do you know Blink-182 has a new album out this week?
Do they?
Yep.
Okay.
Someone said it, and I'm like, I want to make it a show note, but I don't want to tell you about it. So death to debt just reminded me. Blink-182's got a new album.
All right. We're going to play that in the next one.
All right. I think we can end it there. Shout out Albriges Taqueria.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And the Canadian Couch Potato. We have all these wonderful ideas that we have in the show notes and put them below.
Yeah.
Cool.
Beautiful.
All right. See you there. Thanks for listening to the Toronto Livings Real Estate Podcast. You could find more information on how we work over at torontolivings.com. Be sure to sign up for our newsletter to get price reports from over 150 different neighborhoods in the city each and every month.
If you got any value, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. And if you made it this far, thanks for listening.